The morning rush at London Heathrow Terminal 5 moved with a precise, cold rhythm. Rolling suitcases, designer footwear, the low, steady hum of wealth in motion. Inside the Sovereign Club, sunlight struck crystal flutes and polished mahogany. The air suddenly froze. "Sir, the general check-in desk is down the hall," Alara Vance stated without lifting her gaze from the monitor. Her tone was professionally neutral, polite enough to cut. Across the marble counter, Dominic Kincaid calmly presented his mobile phone. "Monarch Elite. You might want to check the details again," he said, his voice even and low. Alara finally looked up. The pause that followed wasn't confusion. It was blatant disbelief. Around them, the conversations of financiers and executives slowed, eyes flicked over, and a silent, heavy judgment began to settle like dust. Dominic felt the familiar, cold pressure, the quiet accusation of not belonging, regardless of how hard or how long he'd worked for his standing. What Alara didn't know was that the man she was dismissing held Ethelgard Airways' $1.24 billion mission-critical technology contract in his sleek black briefcase. And before the day ended, every person in that luxurious room would bear witness to what quiet power truly looks like. The air inside the Sovereign Club turned utterly still. Alara's fingers hovered over the keyboard, a pretense of action masking the certainty of her prejudgment. Dominic stood motionless. The composure on his face wasn't surrender. It was control, the kind that takes years to fortify against a world determined to test it. He'd lived this moment before. Different rooms, different cities. Always the same narrowed eyes, the same quiet disbelief that a black man could occupy a space of such comfort and high status. But this time, everything was digitized, recorded, and amplified. He had the power. He just needed to decide the precise moment to wield it. Alara lifted her radio. Possible verification issue. Passenger may have provided incorrect credentials. Security review needed. Her voice was steady, almost bored, as if reciting a predictable script. Dominic's reply was soft but sharp. "The only incorrect thing here is your assumption." A few heads turned. A woman in a tailored suit snickered behind her tablet. Another discreetly raised her phone. The ripple had begun. That subtle wave of curiosity that surfaces when a powerful person is being reduced to a suspect. Alara's lips curved into a tight, polite smile that held no courtesy. "Sir, we simply need to confirm. Please wait." Dominic exhaled slowly. "Take all the time you need." Behind him, a young traveler named Liam noticed the scene. He closed his laptop, opened his phone's camera, and hit record. His lens caught Alara's superior smirk, the crowd's uneasy voyeurism, and the quiet dignity of a man refusing to yield. The minutes stretched. Alara typed, deleted, then typed again. Every keystroke was an act of judgment. Then a new voice arrived, deeper, practiced, and overtly managerial. "What is the holdup here?" Owen Clark, the director of customer experience, stepped forward. Mid-50s, expensive suit, and confidence built on years of being utterly unquestioned. He examined Dominic as one might study a problem. "It's fine," Alara said quickly. "Just verifying a suspicious booking." Owen's eyes narrowed slightly. "Suspicious?" He turned to Dominic. "May I ask what you do, Mr. Kincaid?" Dominic replied. "I'm a lead systems engineer." Owen's brows lifted in mock surprise. "An engineer? That's impressive. And you can afford the Monarch Elite status on that salary?" A murmur rose behind him. Even Alara looked startled by his blatant prejudice. Dominic's jaw clenched, but his tone stayed calm. "Yes, I've been Monarch Elite for 7 years. Check your system." Owen smiled faintly. "We simply must be careful. Identity fraud is rampant these days." "Careful is fine," Dominic replied. "Selective caution is not." The lounge fell silent. Everyone knew what this was really about. Alara's fingers hovered near her radio. The next words would be, "Blackmail, possible fraud." "You might want to pause that call," Dominic said evenly. He reached into his briefcase, not in defiance, but certainty. Inside lay a signed $1.24 billion contract between Kincaid Systems and Ethelgard Airways, the same company these employees worked for. He didn't show it. Instead, he typed a message to his chief of staff, Initiate Protocol Gamma. "Record everything." "Sir, no filming is allowed," Alara warned. "I wasn't filming," Dominic said, "but perhaps I should be." Owen signaled to 2 guards. "We'll handle this privately." Dominic followed, steps echoing against marble. Liam, his assistant, filmed quietly. Owen crossed his arms. "You're making this harder than it needs to be." "Am I?" Dominic asked. You can't expect us to assume every person with a digital pass belongs here. Every person, Mr. Clark? Or every black person? Owen's expression hardened. Let's not make this about race. It already is, Dominic said quietly. The guards shifted. Alara looked down. Dominic pressed his phone. Sir Anthony Shaw, CEO, Ethelgard Airways, came a voice. Sir Anthony, Dominic said, this is Dominic Kincaid, CEO of Kincaid Systems. Your staff just labeled me a security risk. We may need to revisit our ethics clause. Owen's face drained of color. Whispers filled the room. Kincaid Systems. Skyguard. The realization hit. The man they'd humiliated was the very partner keeping their fleet running. Mr. Kincaid, Owen stammered. This is a misunderstanding. No, Dominic said. It's perfect understanding. You just didn't know who you were talking to. Liam's live stream passed 3,000 viewers. Hashtags appeared instantly. Hashtag Ethelgard's racism. Hashtag power in silence. Let's not escalate this, Owen pleaded. You already did, Dominic said. You called security because of my skin color. That's not caution, it's prejudice. Alara's voice cracked. I didn't mean, you meant it until it cost you, Dominic replied. Then the radio crackled. Attention Sovereign Club staff. Executive arrival imminent. A moment later, the speakers blared. This is CEO, Sir Anthony Shaw. Mr. Dominic Kincaid is in the Sovereign Club. Cooperate fully. Silence. Owen's hands dropped. Alara's face turned white. A woman in a navy blazer rushed in, Clara Davies, VP of Partner Relations. Mr. Kincaid, on behalf of Ethelgard, I deeply apologize. Dominic raised a hand. Don't apologize to me. Tell me this hasn't happened before. Her hesitation was enough. He opened his folder, revealing the embossed contract. Section 17, subsection C. Immediate termination for discriminatory practices. Owen's voice trembled. Please, I didn't know who you were. That's the problem, Dominic said. You shouldn't have to know. Alara's eyes filled with tears. I have 2 children. Please, you should have thought of them before this, Dominic replied coldly. You have 60 seconds. Convince me not to cancel this contract. Owen slumped. I made a mistake. Clara stepped in. We'll suspend both employees immediately. We'll review training, policy, anything. 50 seconds, Dominic said. His calmness made it worse. The stream hit 40,000 viewers. If this contract ends, Clara whispered, thousands could lose their jobs. Then rebuild the company into one that deserves to exist, Dominic said. 30 seconds left. Owen sobbed quietly. I'm terminating the Skyguard 2026 contract, effective immediately. Gasps filled the room. Then he continued. However, Ethelgard has one chance to re-earn it under new terms. What terms? Clara asked. Both employees terminated. No severance. Mandatory anti-bias training for all staff, funded by my company. AI fairness monitoring. And a £5 million scholarship fund for students of color in aviation. You have 30 days. Clara nodded tearfully. We'll do it. Dominic's tone softened slightly. This isn't revenge. It's so the next person won't face this. Applause erupted, raw, powerful. Dominic walked toward the exit. Liam followed, still streaming. At the doors, Dominic turned once more. Change doesn't start with policy, he said. It starts with people deciding enough is enough. Daylight poured in as he left, his reflection lingering like a quiet verdict. Within hours, the video went viral. Ethelgard Airways would never be the same. That day, one man refused to prove he belonged and made the world prove it instead.